Hi, this week I'm going to tell you about a day in the life of Mandie Bridge. Okay, so I'm going to reference yesterday. I'm not going to give you a typical day, I'm just going to tell you about yesterday. I'm 12 months into being an IEMT practitioner. And the first thing I had to do yesterday morning, sadly, is let a client know that I couldn't help them, that what I do wasn't working for them, and to help to recommend something else that would. Not an ideal start to the day, not something I ever want to do, and it is something that I so rarely do. It always pulls at my heartstrings when something like that has to happen. But on the upside, in the last 12 months, I've worked with 115 people and had 111 positive results. Only 4 have I not been able to help significantly. So we have to get these things in perspective. And whilst all I can do is recognise that I can do my very best with the humble skill set that I have and the amazing tool that is IEMT, inevitably it's never going to be 100%. So I started my day feeling a little wistful, a little sad, but then my clients started to come in and the day started to take a turn. The first client I had through the door is a 74-year-old lady, and I was able to release her from the fear of impending Christmas and clocks going back, and a childhood memory that was playing a part in helping her become really anxious about this time of year. The next thing that I did was make a call to an existing client who'd had a particularly traumatic and horrible experience with verbal abuse and emotional abuse in her own home. There is nothing worse than having your home invaded. So I was able to help her. The next, I became, apparently, according to an email I had yesterday, a fairy godmother to my next client when I granted her 3 wishes, when I basically gave her strategies to deal with the 3 most pressing challenges in her life. She emailed me last night to say I was her fairy godmother. That always makes me smile, and it's not the first time I've had that. I'm so blessed. Then, after her, I'd had a light bulb moment the night before. I'd been working with a client who has a food phobia, and I suddenly had an idea. I woke up yesterday morning and it went ping, I wonder if this will work. So I gave her a very quick call and I tried my thoughts out on her, and hurrah, it worked. And I was able to give her a new tool to take forward into the next week before our 3rd session next week, so that she could try that to see if that helped her to deal with her issues. Having that young girl, she's only 25, look at me and go, I'm so excited, is one of the best feelings I had yesterday. And then I had the glory of a young man at 5 o'clock who told me he wanted to stand on the rooftops and shout my name, took a fistful of business cards for all his friends. It was his final 3rd session. He'd been released from crippling anxiety, sickness, travel sickness, and a real heavy dislike of eating out. Not to mention having his confidence knocked, as all of these things always do. Our confidence always takes a hit. So 2 weeks ago, this is where he was. And after our 2nd session last week, he's got himself a date and he's planning his first date to go out for a meal, COVID permitting, of course. And then finally, my client last night, I had the great honour to end the day releasing a young woman from a crippling childhood trauma that was playing a really big part in her day-to-day life, now into her 30s. And then to cap it all, during the course of the day, I had 3 amazing emails of thanks that I've shared or will share on Facebook. I do this because it isn't me saying that this works. And I'm sitting here saying that it works for the majority of the people, the majority of the time. My stats of 115 with 111 of them released is some illustration of the success of this therapy and the tools that I give to my clients. Because it isn't just IEMT, it's the coaching, it's the tools, it's what the client puts into it that makes the difference. So I hope that's giving you an insight into one of my days. And people say to me, are you not exhausted? How do you do this? Oh my God, you must hear some stuff. How do you stay sane? I use the tools. I use the tools I give to my clients to keep them strong. Session 3 is the Teflon coating. What they do after that is up to them. If they use the tools, it will change their life. If they don't, they'll feel okay. But in order to handle life's challenges, you have to put the work in, you have to put the effort in, and you have to take really good care of yourself. And if you want to know how to do that, you know where I am. 3 sessions, 2 weeks, 1 brave message.